It is B100, the Quad City's #1 hit music station. My name's Slater. I'm a huge WWE fan, very excited about the show this Sunday at Iowa Center, but even more excited to have this dude on the show right now, one half of arguably the greatest tag team of all time, D-Von Dudley, joining the Slater Show. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the show today. You're not on the road right now. Where are you?
I'm actually home in Orlando, Kissimmee right now.
Okay.
At the wrestling school that we have here in Kissimmee.
Nice.
I'm up here teaching.
I got to start with this because I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, been obsessed with it since I was 3-4 years old. When did that light bulb go off for you? When did you realize, like, hey, this is what I want to do the rest of my life?
Well, I started watching at 6 and I was hooked. Then I would say in 88, about 14, 15 years old, basically that was when I decided this is what I wanted to do. I fell in love with the sport, and I still am to this day. I mean, I've been doing it 24 years now, this December 14th, this past December 14th, and I still feel the same way I did 24 years ago.
This is kind of interesting because you guys were part of the Attitude Era, late 90s, early 2000s, lots of blood and violence and tables. And
we created that in ECW.
Right. Absolutely. So it's sort of, the popularity the ECW got, around that time trickled over to WWE. And now you're in the PG era in 2015, 2016. How has that adjustment been? Because it is two drastically different products than it was 15 years ago.
No, I mean, it is to a certain degree, but the Dudley Boys will still be the Dudley Boys. We will still do what we, been doing back in the Attitude Era, back in ECW. Now, the only thing we were not doing is using profanity.
Right.
Like we used to back in ECW days, and we stopped that once we got to WWE. But we're still the Dudley Boys. And, if you watch the product, of course, and you see what the PG, I mean, they don't go pushing the envelope too much, because we do have a lot of kids
right.
and things like that. So we do know that we have to tone it down in that aspect. But as far as the action goes, it's just as much action now as it was during the Attitude Era.
That's what I would say too. Like if you watch your matches, you're kind of doing the same stuff you were doing before. There's just not as much furniture being used per se.
Brother, we're still doing the what's up. We're still doing the
absolutely
get the tables. We're still doing all of that. And as far as I'm concerned, I think Bubba and I will do that until the day we die. I think we'll be 90 years old in a wheelchair, and I'll be sitting up there going, "What's up?" No teeth in my mouth, but what's up?
With WWE superstar D-Von Dudley, one half of the Dudley Boys, they'll be part of the Road to WrestleMania tour this Sunday at the Iowa Center. Now, you're 9-time WWE Tag Champs, correct? I got that right?
Absolutely, 9-time, and we're going to be 10-time, and that's coming real soon. When New Day stops ducking us and really want to go down the business and stop interfering and letting this be a legit match,
yeah,
then we'll become 10 times. But you know something? The Dudley Boys have a little bit of an edge. We went back to the old school ways. We went back to the ECW ways. We're just as vicious now as we ever was. So now, once given that opportunity to get back in the ring with New Day, and if it happens to be him only, you might just see, I'm not going to say might, if we get in that ring with them, you will see a 10-time tag team champions in the Dudley Boys.
That's kind of what I was getting to, is that you're one of the most decorated tag teams ever. And not just in WWE, but all around the world. The other promotions here in the States and Japan as well. How many tag titles total with you and Bubba?
We got 24.
24.
24 world tag team titles. And, other than the WWE and ECW, we definitely take pride in going over into Japan, New Japan, All Japan, and winning those titles, because we like to say that we take over where the Road Warriors left off. And we're big, huge fans of the Road Warriors. We've always been. We idolize the Road Warriors. You can't be considered one of the greatest tag teams of all time if you didn't go to Japan and conquer that world, and that's what we did. And then we went to Japan, came back home where we belong, and that's in WWE.
How's it been now as like the grizzled veterans mixing it up with these young guys? It's got to be pretty fun for you.
Well, the great thing about it is, like you said, we were during the Attitude Era. We were during ECW. You talk about 1999. We got to WWE, and, we were the young bucks. Now we're the veterans. And, a lot of the guys that were during our era, don't wrestle anymore.
Right.
And, there's only a selective few that can still go. And, you got myself and Bubba, you got Big Show, you got Kane, Brock Lesnar, all the guys that were there, when we were there, those guys still can go. And the great thing about it is, for us to be away for 10 years and to be able to compete on the level of the WWE still, that's a testament in itself. The Dudley Boys have not lost a step. We're in better shape now than we were 15 years ago. We understand the game, and that's the biggest part of it. We've never, ever stopped working. We kept and continued to work. And as we went up in the ranks, we were able to adjust to how pro wrestling was changing in the faster pace over the years. And again, that's just a testament to us being able to stay, in the game as long as we have.
Great stuff, man. D-Von Dudley, one half of arguably the greatest tag team of all time, the Dudley Boys. As a lifelong fan, I can't let you go without doing this. You got to do it for me one time. Can you give me a testify one time?
Absolutely. Oh, my brother, testify.
Yes! That is awesome. Thanks for the time, D-Von.
Thank you, my friend.